What's going on, guys and girls? How you doing today? It's Singer Roleplayer once again. Today I want to do this IRL video for you guys so that you will have the understanding what's going on my side of things, because this is the first time I'm doing IRL in this place that we've moved a month ago. So a month ago we moved to the other edge of the city, and this is basically because my girlfriend's job is here nearby, and she had to drive nearly across all the city for about a year, and in the end it just became really problemematic, super tough, because of the whole time span was like almost 2 hours, and if you combine it into the trip back and forth, it was like almost 3 hours of life spent on the trip to the job and back. So it became really bad, and you have to go to the subway, go down, go up, and all this shit. So we decided to move closer to her job because, you know, for me personally it doesn't really matter because I'm sitting here streaming for you, but for her this is a big deal, and basically it saves a lot of pain, it saves a lot of health, it saves a lot of time, and opens up possibilities for us to spend more time together as well, do other things other than going back and forth and doing the job stuff. So it's all for good. And a month, I think, yeah, it's a month since we've moved here. It's a pretty small apartment, not the most comfortable ones. It's pretty much smaller than we had and where we've lived for the last 4 years and a half, but it's still pretty good. It's pretty close. There's a lot of green things outside, a lot of trees and all this shit. It's better to kind of walk after the job, have coffee and shit. So overall it's for the better, I think. Of course I had to kind of struggle with a lot of things here, like it's a pretty cold apartment. There's no there was no heater here, and there was no central heating as well, and it was incredibly cold this summer about two weeks ago, so I had to buy the heater. Eventually last week I finally bought it, so now everything is better. But at the same time now it's extremely hot here. The summer getting ridiculous from the very cold to very hot, so it's not very good. But anyway, it's better than just fucking rain all the time, so I think it's okay. Now I also started streaming more recently because I managed to solve all the real life problems, like buying this shit, buying that shit. Of course it dramatically impacted my financial stability because, you know, I was not doing very good before, but now it's really like, I don't know how to put this, it's much more problematic now, and so these 3-4 months will be the defining, I think, for me, and will be will give me some food for thought on what can I do later. Will I be able to somehow sustain myself as a streamer or not? Because I mostly used all my savings for now, and there's not much left. And if I will not be getting the Twitch partner program, which I'm 2 points away, I don't think I will be able to continue streaming. No matter how I like streaming, guys, it's getting just very hard at this point. At the same time, you know, the only way to kind of get some visibility right now is to create high quality build guides, which I'm doing. But at the same time, there's a lot of effort spent, and sometimes I get torn between the YouTubing and between Twitching, because, you know, a lot of people don't really have a lot of time spent on YouTube. At the same time, they spend a lot of time on Twitch, and they basically prosper on Twitch. But, you know, I always been a YouTube content creator, and I like actually doing YouTube content more than anything else. That's why I spend sometimes a lot of time creating builds and guides for you guys, and it takes literally days without streaming, because I can't really stream when I'm in depth into builds and guys. I have to do the written parts. And when this first builds that I created, they were the Dark Pact Totems Ascendant build and the Blade Vortex Inquisitor build. I thought that they would work just as they are when I just upload this past bean and the build guide, the video build guide, and I thought that they would work this way, but in fact, in reality, they did not, because people on Path of Exile forums are just not used to this kind of format of build guides. They are used to a very in-depth build guides with a huge written part in there. So basically, I have to update a lot of my first build guides for these very few builds that I created, because the video is there but the written part is pretty weak, and the threads didn't really become very popular. Only recently, for the last 4 guides that I created recently, I did the huge written part as well, which was pretty nice. But for the first build guides, I didn't do this, and I thought that that would work, which was completely wrong. So now I need to update this very first build guides as well. Also have 2 more build guides planned, for like full build guides planned for Path of Exile. And I also have 2 more builds that I want to play. I want to spoil you guys what builds are this, but I discovered some really nice builds that I want to play in Path of Exile, which will be next after I finish the Cyclone build for you. Apart from that, I also want to continue my newbie guides for Path of Exile as well, because I kind of stopped on them because I was very busy doing the full build guides for you. So newbie guides will continue as well. As for Diablo 3, I actually think about returning to Diablo 3 to check some builds up there, because I checked the leaderboards about a week ago and I noticed that the diversity is still there, and there are many, like 4 or 5 builds viable on the top of the leaderboard, which is pretty nice, I think. And at the same time, there is a couple of builds that I haven't played, especially for the Demon Hunter, and I really want to create these build guides for you guys so that you can see them. And I want to finalize. I have everything done for the Crusader, Barbarian, and Must Sheet for the Witch Doctor as well as Monk, but for the Demon Hunter, they were mostly done by Woodiju, so it was not really necessary for me to create any kind of build guides. I'm not even sure this is entirely necessary, but this is one of those things that I want to kind of return to D3 briefly to create this build guide for you guys. So when will this happen? Will this happen at all? I'm not so sure, because I'm kind of struggling, because D3 is fine and all, but I will not really get a lot from returning to D3, except maybe some time spent, which I can spend more in Path of Exile. At the same time, sometimes I get bored with Path of Exile as well, because it takes enormous amount of time to create the build guide. It takes enormous amount of time to create a polished build in Path of Exile, learn everything, make it to the end game, test everything in Shapers, Elders, and everything. So in D3 it's kind of faster, easier, but at the same time I'm just bored with D3 to death, and I'm not even sure when or why and how will I return to that, if any. Most likely I will just fill the spots for some builds and guides that I haven't really tested that much, like for example for the Demon Hunter, like I said. So this is the plan, and we'll see you later, guys. Thanks everyone for watching, and I would like to thank personally everyone for their subscriptions, for the follows, for all your enormous amount of content that you post on my Path of Exile threads. Thank you guys very much. I really like that I kind of switching slowly from D3 content creator to Path of Exile content creator, because I had to learn a lot. Literally played for about a year just Path of Exile, so I had to learn a lot of things, and eventually I see some kind of first glimpse of hope, some slow results that people are kind of noticing my my builds and guides for the Path of Exile that I create, which I'm very happy about. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in the next video.